Feeling like a shark in a shrimp tank. Big fish, small pond in the shrimp tank.
Hey everybody, welcome to the post-show wrap-up of the Shrimp Tank. I am your co-host, Ted Jenkins. Sitting here with my co-host today, Chris Hanks, who's the executive director and founder of the Shore Center for Entrepreneurship. And we're joined by our guest today, Jamie Hamilton, who's the managing director of the Atlanta Seed Company. As always, you can catch a fabulous replay of all of our broadcasts and the show we had today with Jamie at shrimptankpodcast.com. You can download us on iTunes. And this is where you get your MBA degree in entrepreneurship. You learn from the entrepreneurs in and around Atlanta and the state of Georgia.
So, Jamie, so much good content, and boy, there's so many aspiring entrepreneurs or entrepreneurs who are looking for capital that should listen to this. And what's one of the things that would impress you, I guess, for these entrepreneurs who are presenting you for capital or coming up to you for capital? What would impress you most?
So I like to see really show me your vision. First of all, get in touch with me, but really make it clear what the problem is, how you're trying to solve that problem, what your strategy is going to be for that problem. It's not hard to get a hold of me. And then the last thing I'll say is don't make it an arbitrary time frame. It's always important if you can get in touch with me 3 months, 4 months, sometimes 6 months ahead of the time that you need capital to invest. Let that relationship more organically grow. Can be very significant. Let me understand your business. Let me do that in a solid, approachable time frame is always very good.
You know, Jamie, there are a lot of people that on a Sunday night, they turn on the Shark Tank. They see these people go into the tank and they get these massive deals of funding, and it probably gets them thinking, you know, one day I want to be on the Shark Tank and see if I can get some equity, you know, raised from the sharks. But is it always a good idea for entrepreneurs that are watching the post-show wrap-up to raise money for their business?
So let me just say unequivocally, and that's to everybody, if you're an entrepreneur with a great idea and you don't need to raise money, don't. Right. You don't have to raise money. Now, if you're an entrepreneur that has a great idea and it's a speed to market, you need capital to grow and grab as much market share as possible, then absolutely. In other words, is the money that you're going to raise going to add enough value to your business over a relatively short period of time? And is the value that you're going to get from your investor going to provide that lift in incremental, you know, value or revenue to your business? Then do so. Absolutely.
Chris, the last time I raised money was in UNICEF when I was about 11 years old. I had a bright orange box, and I used to get it during Halloween. But that's the last time I had to raise money.
What makes a business investable from your standpoint?
Gosh, it's a great question. It can be so many different things. I'm about to do an investment right now where it's 3 entrepreneurs that we invested in about 4 years ago, and we sold the business. I can tell you this: it's a very early stage business. They don't have much right now, but it's investable because I have the relationship with them and I've invested with them before. Other businesses that I see, I get right away. The entrepreneur has such a clear vision. He came from an industry where he sees a very solid pain point and he's going to address it. And oh, by the way, he has contacts and he's bringing contacts, high-paying customers or potential revenue right out of the gate. So those things are obviously terrific. Where I like to invest, again, is not at the concept phase. It's not at the very early phase. So I like to see a little bit of traction there that helps that story start to come together.
Now, considering you're a bit of a shark yourself and putting money into all these different businesses, do you, for the people watching the post-show wrap-up, have a least favorite and most favorite shark on the Shark Tank?
Oh, my favorite shark is Mr. Wonderful.
I knew you were going to say that. He does beat people around a little bit, but he's good.
He does. Listen, I'm a fan of the Shark Tank. I think it's a great show. They do a great job, and of course, in the industry where I spend all of my time, it's had sort of a double effect. It's brought more realization as to what people like myself do every day, but it's also kind of spread a sort of a false impression of how the real world really works.
You have a least favorite on the Shark Tank, or no?
I would say Lori.
Yeah. Lori Grenier, huh? So I'm not liking Richard Branson these days. Not too much. Just but he's done pretty darn well. So for those folks that are watching the post-show wrap-up of the Shrimp Tank, and they might need to get some seed funding for their business, how can they get in touch with you, your company, and learn more about working with you in their business?
AtlantaSeedCompany.com, or my email address is Jamie, Jamie, @AtlantaSeedCompany.com. We'd love to hear from you.
Well, folks, you know, on the Shrimp Tank, we don't actually seed businesses, but we were very fortunate enough today to have on a real live person that actually does seed a business. And you learn out there that an idea is just an idea. And once you can build users or you can build your products and services, this is when you go see people at the Atlanta Seed Company. And one day you might get in the Shark Tank yourself, whether it's local or national. And that is the post-show wrap-up of the Shrimp Tank.